Good morning, everybody, and hello from Mahavanas Dutangka from Thailand. This is part of the series from Mahavana, and this part is going to be about sharing experience from layperson perspective. So, I got upgrade from a guest to a moderator today, and we have another guest today. So, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
My name is Trin in Thalapasong. I'm 46 years old. Currently I'm a government officer.
Okay, so I guess today's experience is gonna be sharing experience as we're in Thailand, so I guess in theory we're born Buddhist, right? And regarding for your experience as growing up in a Buddhist family, how's that?
My parents are registered as Buddhists, but they do not practice any core Buddhism. They do cultural part, like cultural traditional practice, but they don't practice meditation or anything. So my experience about Buddhism, first, when I was young, I enjoy reading a lot of autobiography or biography of monks in Thailand, but I didn't actually do a lot of practice. I do a bit of meditation from school, and that's it. I seriously practice Buddhism when I study PhD, like my third year of PhD. I was 28 years old then. I have a lot of personal problems, and I first experienced extremely difficulty in life. That when I sort of understand Buddha's teaching in deeper depth, so thing will eventually pass. I was suffering I shut in a room for 2 weeks. I didn't go out for 2 weeks, and then my advisor came to say something wrong with me, and he asked me to go meet with him, and he said I need to share, I need to do something. So on one hand, I went to see counselor for a few times, but I'm not sure it's working or not, but all he does is ask questions. But eventually all the bad things comes and go. Right. That was my first pivotal moment when I sort of understand Buddhism much more than cultural practice. When I come back to Thailand, I start practice Buddhism. I start go to temple to seek for practice. So I came back when I was 30. From 30 to 35, I do a lot of meditation, and then meditation is good. It gives me a lot of strength, right? And next phase, I try to read the Buddha teaching Tripitaka from try to memorize reading taking exam. Try to read, try to memorize, but it doesn't work. Right? I tried for for a few years, right? But that didn't work, right? So I continue meditate. Then 7 years ago, I got a chance to be a monk, to ordain to be a monk for 2.5 months. So basically, being a monk is good in terms of I can practice for as much as I want, right? At that temple, wake up at 4 a.m. And do group praying, the whole temple come together and group praying. and then do a bit of meditation. After breakfast, I start another group meditation for new monks, only for new monks, right? And then take a break for like 2 hours. In the afternoon, another meditation session, and then go clean up the temple for a few hours. And then in the evening, another meditation session, and about 10 o'clock, go to sleep. So I did that for like 2.5 months. Two things that I get is, first is meditation. I learned a lot of tricks and tips from meditation a lot, right? Which I can share in the future. Another thing is I incorporate Buddha's teaching in everyday life. When you become a monk, there's you deal with small issue, but you cannot solve like normal people solve. Like my first day as a monk, there's like thousands or millions of ants in my bedroom. So like if I'm not a monk, you can put a bug spray and just get it done in like half an hour, right? But when you be a monk, you cannot use bug spray to kill ants. At that time, it was pretty serious because I could not sleep for 3 days. Eventually, someone donated powder, baby powder. So I spray baby powder like everywhere. Like after a week, that problem is solved. So it's small thing like that, series of small thing, but you have to use your intellect to solve problem without like offend other people or other living being. That is the second thing that I learned, like solving problem using the Buddha teaching, or try to like follow as much as I can.
So it's like solving problem with limitation as a monk, with like rules and precepts that you have to comply to, that kind of thing.
Yes, during that time. But then when I come back to work again, I still try to use the same approach, try to solve problem without offending myself, without offending people near me. Try the best I can to like do my duties, while I perform what people expect of me as a worker, as a son, or as a part of a person in a society.
There are some saying that a Buddhist country, so a lot of guys get ordained when there's like 20 for the family, for the parents. But it seems like you got ordained a lot later than 20, right? So what's your the reason for you to getting ordained at that time?
I want to be a monk for a long time, but my parents do not want me to be a monk. And I also got a scholarship from Thai government, so I have to work for government. So at the beginning of working, I cannot take time off, and toward the end of my serving as a scholarship period payment, basically I take leave to be a monk, because to put my parents at ease, making sure that I will come back to work. Like my mom and my dad do not like want me to be a monk for until the rest of my life. So that concerned them a lot. So I do not want to cause more concern to my parents. So I choose time that I still have to come back, make sure that it's within the time that I must come back to work, just to put my parents at ease. If you don't have something, you think that something is great, right? Like being a monk is the same thing. Like it's not the, what do you call it, like something like the pill that kill all. There's no such thing as that. But before you become a monk, you think that I have all day to practice. I don't have to care what the society think of me. Being a monk, good thing is that the more you practice, the more people look at you as, oh, you're doing good. Comparing to normal people, if you meditate for like 5 or 6 hours a day, not continuously, like 5 or 6 hours, people think you're crazy, right? So you're lazy or crazy or not doing what you're supposed to do. So it's different. But being a monk does not kill all. The best thing about a monk is give you very, very little distraction. So if you, at the beginning, or if you have opportunity, go ahead and do it. It will jumpstart you quickly. It will jumpstart your like Buddhist practice much, much quicker than you do it yourself. If you have chance, like go to stay, you don't have to be a monk. You can go to stay at temple for 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, whatever time you have. That will jumpstart. Once you have a strong foundation and strong will, you can practice every day. Like problem solving, I use that every day. Another thing is I see things as temporary. Whatever joy, sadness, distraction, whatever emotion, it will come and go. So I suffer a lot less. Like good boss will come and go, bad boss also come and go as well. Like before like at the beginning of working, when I have bad boss, I suffer a lot. Now I say like maximum he will stay is like 2 or 3 years, at most 4 years. So my mind is much at ease because it's just temporary. Since I still have to work, I cannot practice as much, but I still do meditate when I go to restroom, when I go walk to restroom, when I go walk to get something to drink. I still do meditate on that. And from time to time, I used to go to like nearby secluded place and meditate during the lunch break. But now I have much more work. I cannot take that much time off. But I go do meditate on the like walking machine at work. At work there's a small exercise room, treadmill, So I do that. I just put earphone, pretend that I listen to something, and I just walk and meditate by myself. And also during because I have herniated disc, I have to stand up quite often, like preferably every hours. I have to stand for like 5 minutes. So during those 5 minutes break, I do meditate small session. I rarely do like when I first come back to Thailand, I do a lot of meditation. Like I will start meditate like 9:30 p.m. Sometime half an hour, sometime an hour, sometime more, whenever, until my body say enough is enough. But now I don't do the like official, like traditional, like long session. So I do a lot of short session instead.
I see. And there's also some suggestion that sometimes you just be conscious on like during like your daily routine compared to meditation session. What's your opinion about that?
Well, like compare which one is better.
Which one is better, or you should do it one like alongside, or you should do meditation first, or any thoughts about that?
It's like a left leg or right leg. You need both, right? Do whatever I can. For like long session of meditation, if you are new at meditation, it takes so long to be in a state of like calmness. And when you meditate, like first you will like lots of thought come to mind, right? And then all of a sudden it will eventually you will calm down and eventually you will feel joy, happiness. When I do serious meditation, I will do at least I experience the happiness part, right? You have to pass like leg suffering and those sort of things, and then but after I become a monk, like that time I learned a lot of tricks and tips that help me get into like the calm state and happy state much quickly. Like it used to be like half hour before I start to calm down. It get to like 30 seconds, something like that. So that helps shorten time. Yeah.
So if you have like solid foundation in terms of like serious meditation, then you be able to use the focus or tip and tricks that you learn from the serious meditation for being conscious in like your daily routine. You mean that?
Yes, during daily routine, I cannot meditate like all the time, like long session.
Like walking, standing, like for brief period.
Right.
That kind
Yeah,
of
so I can do short session. And one thing that I try to do a lot is recognize my emotion. Like during the day, when someone say something to me, do I feel happy? Do I feel neutral? Or do I feel upset? So basically, I focus on this thing first. Once I'm aware, usually it will stop. Like the emotion will stop. But if the cause still there, it will come again. And next phase is I just think, oh, this is temporary. It will go away soon. And next step is, I think it's like, how do I deal with this situation without offending myself, without offending other people, and why still function as a government officer, make the work go forward. All things are temporary. It will come and go. If there's cause, things will happen. You cannot control it. You cannot control cause. You cannot control result. But you can control your emotion and you can control your action. But it's easier said than done. But everyday life, if I'm working, if you're working, or viewer who still working, you have a lot of chance to practice. Like many things that will upset you, you know, people driving, people cut you across, people say bad thing to you, and people make too much noise, sort of thing.
in your monks, when there's no like outer incidents to deal with you much, then your emotions more calm, right? But when you're like lay people, every lay people experiences you driving and then somebody cut in the line, or there's people bad with bad driving. So how do you deal with like things like that?
Actually, it's the opposite. When you meditate a lot, your emotion come much stronger. Like when I meditate a lot, when car cut across me, I get upset. Like 1 second, I get upset for like 10, 20 times. Like get upset, I aware that I'm upset, stop, get upset, I aware that I'm stop. For a few seconds, the car's still there, right? The car that cut off Syria, I still see it. It keep happening until sometimes it keep happening until the light turn green and car start moving. It stop. So when I did a lot of meditation, I recognize my emotion much clearer and much faster. But now I don't do a lot of long session meditation. I experience it less, but I still experience it. And I try to make it routine work. I see whatever make me upset or make me happy, I treat it the same way. First, I recognize it. Am I happy, or am I neutral, or am I upset, right? So if I'm aware, I'm aware that, it's just a cause, it will go eventually. And then how do I best deal with this? I try to do it calmly, and like, let's say if I'm upset, I'm aware that I'm upset, right? I don't honk people. So I get upset, sometimes leads to a worse thing.
Right.
Or
So don't act during anger.
Right.
Don't act during anger.
so try to do as much as I can. Try to do is the same routine. So basically do whatever I can.
Okay, so I guess that's like part of like sharing the experience of being a Buddhist born in Thailand. So as you can see, compared to the last session, that even though we're like born in like Buddhist family in Thailand, our experience can be a bit different in terms of the entry of like how we actually get to learn more about the core of Buddhism. So I guess that will conclude our session for today, for now, regarding shared experience as Buddhists in Thailand, and part of the experience of being a monk in Thailand also. So thank you very much for today. Thank you. Hope the audience gets something from this session. Thank you very much.